What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Sorry I haven't made any videos recently. I've been pretty busy with college right now. I'm studying health science and nutrition. I'm currently taking 5 classes, which is a pretty heavy load, and it's pretty math-centric, so that's a, a really time-consuming thing, especially for me, who I'm pretty sure has had some portion of my brain that's responsible for math disintegrate somehow. So it's a tough one. So anyways, that's why I've been kind of tied up. So I figured I'd go ahead and make a video just about some stuff I've been thinking about and then stuff that I've been observing just with the current climate, with everything going on, the economy, politics, things like that. I'll probably start getting more into talking about that kind of stuff in future videos. I know some of my other videos have been a little different, but I'll probably start venturing into that as well. So anyways, I just kind of wanted to give you like my view on what's going on, I guess, and I'm not really sure like the end game or anything like that, and this isn't supposed to be like a conspiracy theory video or anything like that. However, I do think that there are obviously rich, powerful, wealthy people who have come from a long line of rich, powerful, wealthy people who would like to continue being rich, powerful, and wealthy. I think that's kind of common sense, that people who have money don't want to lose it. People who have power want to keep it. So I think it's kind of common sense. It's not really a conspiracy. I know people, put labels on it and like Illuminati and stuff like that, but I think it's more simple. I don't think there's like some real sinister thing going on. I just believe it's simply the cool kids club wanting to stay cool. So that's kind of what's going on, in my opinion. So I think a lot of people are waking up to that now, fortunately. But, we're still very, very divided. And I think that's part of, I guess, the manipulation that's going on with people who run media. I mean, it's like the same 6 people who own all the media channels or media stations, outlets. So they pretty much dictate the information that's getting sent out to us and the things that we hear. So you have to understand that, even for people who are pretty intelligent, if they're told something by sources that they think are credible, they'll tend to believe it. And also, if those same things, even if they don't make really a lot of sense, or if they seem irrational and they're repeated over and over and over, then even more people will believe it. I mean, the power of repetition is pretty amazing. Even people who are habitual liars, they repeat the lie enough and they believe it themselves. Even though they know they're lying, it's so convincing because of how many times they say it, they actually believe it to be true. So I think that's something that the media does. They have a agenda or a propaganda that they push, and they push it over and over and over and over and over, and more people believe it over time. One, because they trust the sources that it's coming from. And I know, our country's kind of split right now between, like, I don't know, the Fox News crowd and the CNN crowd. And I think a lot of people, don't understand that it's pretty much all bullshit, just on different sides. Like for me personally, I see Democrats, Republicans, flip side of the same coin. CNN, Fox News, whatever, flip side of the same coin. It's all propaganda, it's all manipulation. None of it's the full truth. And honestly, it's hard to find that unless I am there in person, see something with my own eyes. Then I don't necessarily, 100% put faith in it, because who knows anymore what people are saying and what the direction they're trying to push us into. So anyways, that was a little tangent, but so I kind of wanted to talk about how we're being manipulated, and I believe it's been going on for a really long time. I think that one is by changing the society to put more, I guess, regard towards seeking pleasure, which inevitably leads to the desire to make more money and become greedy, because people equate money with being able to purchase things that cause them pleasure. I mean, that it doesn't purchase everything, but it is a big thing in our society. Western society is about pleasure and individuality and making money. So it's not, in the West, it's not so much about like honoring your family or, sustaining a legacy or anything like that. It's what can I do for myself? So we're a very self-centered group of people, and we pretty much just seek pleasure for ourselves and things that make us happy, riches for us. So I think that that's a direction that society has gone, and I think that through music, through movies and Hollywood, through the media, magazines, just stuff like that, kind of subliminally has helped push us in that direction. Not saying that we wouldn't have went that way anyways, but I think we've gone more extreme to that side than we would have. So I'm not someone that judges people or anything, and obviously I think you should, within reason, do what makes you happy. But there's a limit to that. I think within reason. Obviously, you can't get to the point where you disregard everybody else's feelings, everybody else's happiness, and everybody else's safety just because it's an inconvenience to you. And I think that's where we're at. I mean, people literally take pleasure in watching other people's pain. They upload videos to YouTube and Facebook and all the different social media sites of people getting killed or people getting beat up and things like that or whatever. And there's always people that comment on these videos laughing and thinking the stuff is funny and deriving some sort of like sadistic type of pleasure by viewing other people's pain. And that's where we're at. So we're very pleasure-centric to the extent that we don't care if harm comes to other people. As long as it's not us, we think it's funny. So that's one thing that is an issue in our society right now. And the other thing that comes along with being self-centered and only seeking pleasure for yourself, not caring about other people, is fear of pain or fear of not being able to have that pleasure anymore. That thing that you're laughing at somebody else getting beat up, well, that's something that you fear greatly now. Because you know how people are going to react, right? You don't care about them, but you definitely care about you. So now, not only are we being manipulated through pleasure avenues like money and whatnot, we're also being manipulated through the fear of not having that. So what's going on right now is people are not able to make money like they have in the past. A lot of people are unemployed. A lot of people are part-time or partially unemployed. Some people have lost a lot of money in the stock market or whatnot, in the past, for this past spring when it crashed. There's also a lot of uncertainty when it comes to like the economy and the different markets. There's high volatility in the stock market. Everybody's nervous. People don't have confidence in it. That's fear. People are afraid that they're going to lose everything. People who have retirement plans and 401ks and mutual funds, they're afraid that they're going to lose their money. So if they don't have their money, then they won't be able to, buy their boat and have their cable and their Wi-Fi, and God forbid, they're scared to death that they're going to lose that stuff. They're scared to death that they're going to lose everything. So there's a lot of fear going on, a lot of fear mongering as well. There's fear in the housing market. When's the housing market going to crash? Everybody thinks we're going to have a big crash. Nobody knows. Nobody knows how the economy is going to go. So this lack of money and the fear of the lack of money is something that's really going to be capitalized on by politicians and lawmakers, and they're going to use that to, I believe, the direction we're headed is they're using fear and specifically the fear of experiencing pain by way of becoming poor, and sickness, like the thing going on. I don't know if I'm allowed to say it. the viral thing. Anyways, but they're using this fear to pass legislation to take away individual liberties. So that is not good. When we start giving away our individual liberties for security, we're headed in the wrong direction. Now, I'm not saying that security isn't important and that safety isn't important, but at least in my opinion, and I think a lot of other people, I think that freedom is more important. So the freedom to be able to make the decision, whether it's right or wrong, is more important than, or a better deal than not being able to make a decision and being guaranteed that you'll be the status quo, I guess. You'll be par for the course, nothing exceptional, but nothing below. And to me, that would be security, like the guarantee of that, the guarantee of a $2,000 paycheck every month or something like that. That's security. That's a safety net. And so people are being manipulated into giving up their freedoms for personal for these security nets. And the thing is once people start giving up their freedom, and once people start giving up their individuality, once people start, I guess, not thinking for themselves anymore, really, they start giving government more power and giving other entities more say over their individual lives, then, what do we have? I mean, that's not a life. You're just a robot. So who wants that? But I think that's the direction that we're being manipulated into. They're using fear. And when I say they, I say, the people who have this vast amount of wealth, and they both want more and want to be able to retain what they have. If you look at the housing market, I mean, the Federal Reserve has bought up a lot of mortgages. They own 20% of all mortgages in the United States, and so therefore they own more real estate than any other entity there is in our country. And I know a lot of people don't realize it, but the Federal Reserve is not the government. It's actually owned by independent people. It's a conglomerate, like, I guess you could say. We're kind of, it's kind of like an oligarchy right now, or a corporocracy, I guess you could say. These wealthy individuals are consolidating even more wealth, and that wealth gap is getting even wider now. And that has a lot to do with the, this viral thing and the turbulence that it's caused in the economy. So they've been buying up a lot of stuff, bonds. They can't buy stocks, but real estate, all this stuff, and people aren't seeing it. And I'm not saying that the Federal Reserve is like the Illuminati or anything like that, but they are obviously a group of very wealthy people, along with multiple other people around the world and in our country who are very wealthy and very powerful and would like to keep it that way. So that's one piece of the puzzle. And it's just showing how through fear manipulation and through deprivation of pleasure that they are using that to consolidate wealth amongst them who already have it and to consolidate power, more power amongst them who already have it. So we are slowly, I believe, chipping away at the Constitution. We are slowly chipping away at our personal freedoms, and we're slowly giving the government and slowly giving the people running the show, I guess you call them the elites or whatever you want to call them, the wealthy, who buy out the politicians and that kind of stuff. We're giving them more and more and more power and more say-so over our personal lives. And obviously food is getting more expensive. We're looking at global food scarcity right now. I mean, that's probably going to hit us as well. There's a lot of stuff going on. And I mean, again, what's going to happen when people don't think they're going to be able to eat? But they're going to get scared, and then they're going to allow more of their personal freedoms to be taken away under the guise of safety. I need to eat, So anyways, it's just something that I've been observing. I think, in my opinion, I could be wrong. Maybe I'm a tinfoil wearing conspiracy theory nut job or whatever. I don't know. But I think it's something to think about. And I mean, things are kind of looking more and more like Orwell's 1984 to me, right? So we got some oligarchs that are calling the shots and ruling our government and our politicians, and they're pretty much slowly but surely becoming our, I guess, overlords or whatever. Just again, just my opinion, just kind of the way I see things going in our country. Quite concerning to me personally, because I really enjoy freedom. Obviously I think safety and security is important, but man, I've been in situations where my freedom has been lessened, I guess, and I didn't enjoy it at all. I haven't been to prison or anything, but I know people who were in the prison or in the military or anything like that. They understand how important your freedom is to you. So for people like us who have experienced less freedom than the average citizen, this is very concerning. So yeah, just something I wanted to bring to everyone's attention. Just, look, I think that knowledge is power. So just observe and look and use your brain. Try and be logical. Try and ask yourself, well, does that make sense? What this organization's saying, does it make sense? I mean, you don't need some scientific data or some research or something to know if something makes sense or not. All right. Obviously, you could be wrong, but 9 times out of 10, logic and common sense are gonna win. Okay. So, yeah, just be aware. Look, pay attention. Study. Study what's going on. Study the past. Look at history and see how people have been manipulated in the past to get on board with horrible things and to lose a lot of their personal freedom. Look at the Nazis and some of the manipulation and the propaganda that was going on back then, and then just kind of compare it to what's been going on here. So, and on that topic, real quick, I mean, we brought a lot of those guys after we won the war. We brought a lot of them over here, so some of the same stuff could be used now, and the same stuff is being used now. So, yeah. Anyways, just wanted to kind of give my thoughts on that. Hope you guys liked the video. If you did, push the like button. Subscribe if you're not subscribed to my channel. I'll be talking more weird stuff and trying to get information out there from a different perspective. So, yeah. Thank you for watching to the end, and I'll see you next time.